is Molly Moo, aka Miss Deb, and I'm here to take you on your next food adventure. Where are we going on our food adventure? Well, do we remember what this is a picture of? What does it look like? It looks like a plate. And it's a picture of the My Plate poster. Does my costume give you any idea of what group we might be talking about? We are going to talk about our last food group, the dairy group. What color is the dairy group? If you said blue, you're absolutely right. So to date, we've already talked about the other 4 food groups on My Plate. We have covered fruits and vegetables, grains, and protein. And so, let's proceed with our food adventure. We're going to start out by reading a story. Okay, we are going to start our dairy food adventure by reading a story called Healthy Eating with My Plate Dairy. You'll want to listen very closely to the story because I will have some questions for you at the end of the story. What is milk? Milk is the drink that is made by some animals. Drinking milk helps to keep us healthy. Most of our milk comes from cows. Some of our milk comes from goats. Did you know that goats give milk? Food from milk. Milk can be made into other foods, such as cheese. Look at the big round blocks of cheese. These foods are called dairy foods. So there would be things like yogurt, all of our different types of cheese, and milk. Cheese is made from milk. Look at those different types of cheese. Yogurt is also made from milk. How many of you like yogurt? How milk helps us. Milk and dairy foods help to build strong bones. Milk and dairy foods help to build strong teeth. Milk and dairy foods help your body to grow. Milk and dairy foods help to keep your blood healthy. Healthy eating. We need to eat different kinds of food each day. My Plate reminds us to eat some foods from each food group every day. We should have some fruits, some vegetables, grains, protein, and dairy every single day. Some dairy foods have a lot of fat, such as cheese. You should only eat a little of these foods. We eat milk and dairy foods to stay healthy. We eat milk and dairy foods because they taste good. Find the dairy food. Here is a healthy dinner. Can you find 2 foods that are made from milk or fall in the dairy group? We've got a lettuce salad that's got lettuce and some carrots and some tomatoes in it. We've got a pasta dish that's got pasta and looks like tomatoes and some Parmesan cheese. We've got a drink and we've got some yogurt. So which 2 foods in that dinner would be from the dairy group or are made from milk? If you said yogurt and Parmesan cheese, you're absolutely right. Our picture glossary, some key terms that we found in our story. The first one is blood. Remember, blood is that red liquid that's inside our body. Blood takes our food and air to all of our body parts. Bones. You have bones inside your body. Bones are strong and hard. They help to keep your body up. Fat is the oily thing in some foods. Your body uses fat to keep you warm. Eating too much fat is bad for your body. And that's the end of our story. Now, time for some questions. Okay, we have finished reading our story, and so I have a few questions for you. First question is, what are some of the foods that we find in the dairy group? We find all our different kinds of milk, whether it be whole milk, 2%, 1%, or skim milk, also known as fat-free milk. We have chocolate milk, falls in our dairy group as well. And that's just regular milk that has had flavoring added to it. We have our different kinds of cheese, whether it's Parmesan or cheddar. It could be mozzarella. It could be Swiss cheese. It could be our cheese sticks or cottage cheese. It could be ice cream, which is known as a sometimes food. We've got our regular hard ice cream, we've got soft serve ice cream, and we've got yogurt, frozen yogurt. Our other food that falls in our dairy group is the yogurt. We've got our drinkable yogurt, we've got our yogurt that falls in our little containers, and we've got our yogurt sticks, like our Go-Gurt. So those would all be some different foods that we find in the dairy group. So where do we get our dairy foods from? We get them from animals. One animal is our dairy cows. I'm an example of a dairy cow. I'm a Holstein dairy cow. We get them from goats, and we get them from sheep. Why do we need to eat foods from the dairy group? Well, our dairy foods help build strong bones and teeth. They also help our body grow, and they keep our blood healthy. Okay, we're going to do an energizer today called Getting Sleepy. I'm going to have you stand up and do the activity with me. I'll be showing you some pictures, and if the picture shows something that's going to wake up your brain, I'm going to have you do hand flaps. Put your hands over your head and flap your hands. If the picture shows something that's going to make you relaxed and sleepy, I'm going to have you do jello arms. Put your arms down to the side and just kind of wiggle them. Okay, our first picture is play video games before bedtime. So would that be something that wakes up our brain, or would it be something that makes us feel relaxed and sleepy? Read a book before bedtime. Does that activity wake up our brain, or does it make us feel relaxed and sleepy? Go to bed early or on time. Does that wake up our brain, or does that make us feel relaxed and sleepy? Go to bed really late. Does that wake up our brain, or does that make us feel relaxed and sleepy? Drink a glass of soda or pop. Does that wake up our brain, or does that make us feel relaxed and sleepy? Drink a glass of water. Does that wake up our brain, or does that make us feel relaxed and sleepy? Drink a glass of milk as a snack. Does that wake up our brain, or does that make us feel relaxed and sleepy? Eat a few cookies as a snack. Does that wake up our brain, or does that make us feel relaxed and sleepy? Keep the lights on and or the screen on before bed. Does that wake up our brain, or does that make us feel relaxed and sleepy? Sleep in a quiet, dark room. Does that wake up our brain, or does that make us feel nice and sleepy? It's time for our mystery lunchbox. And since you're not able to actually be here to feel what's inside our lunchbox, you'll have to go with the clues I'm going to give you. And so I'm going to take a peek here and put my hand inside and see what we have. Of course, it's some dairy food. Can you guess what it is by my description? Oh, it's long. It's about 5 inches long. It's kind of a round tube. It's cold. It's very smooth. And it tends to be firm to the touch. What do you think it is? If you said it's a cheese stick, you're absolutely right. Let's do a little review about what we learned about the dairy group. What are some foods that we find in the dairy group? We find our different kinds of milk. We find our different kinds of cheese. We find ice cream and yogurt. Where do our dairy foods come from? They come from cattle, dairy cows, and goats, and sheep. Why do we need to eat dairy foods? Dairy foods build strong bones and teeth. They also keep our body strong and healthy, and they make our blood healthy. Let's make a snack. Today we're actually going to make pumpkin spice yogurt dip, which we will serve with either crackers or Nilla wafers or apple slices. Hey, let's make a snack. Today we're going to make a snack with foods from several different food groups, including pumpkin from the vegetable group and yogurt from the dairy group. Our recipe is called pumpkin spice yogurt dip. The 4 main ingredients are the pumpkin puree, the Greek yogurt, pumpkin spice, and vanilla extract. We start by opening our can of pumpkin. The recipe calls for 3/4 of a cup of pumpkin puree. And I've got that dished up here, so we'll just use a rubber scraper and put that in our bowl. And many times you can't find 3/4 of a cup measure, and so to get 3/4 of a cup, we take a 1/2 of a cup plus a 1/4 of a cup measure. We also need a cup of our vanilla Greek yogurt. And so that's about almost 2 of those little containers of yogurt. Then it calls for 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. So we have our teaspoon, measuring spoon, and we will, here's 1. And 2. And then our last ingredient is 1/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Then we just have to mix those together. Until they're well blended. And there we have our pumpkin spice pie dip. We can take a spoonful, put it in a dish, and it's great if we serve it with either the Teddy Grahams or the Nilla wafers. We'll use the Nilla wafers today. And we'll do some and there we have our pumpkin spice yogurt dip with Nilla wafers. You will find the recipe for the pumpkin spice yogurt dip on the back side of the parent newsletter, which you can access from a link on the computer. This ends our dairy lesson.